welcome in to Getting Help from Uncle Sam. In this case, it's Auntie Alabama. And we have so many things going on in our state. We have elections, which are major important. And we are very fortunate to have with us Secretary of State John Merrill. And we want all of you to know exactly what you need to do to be able to get out and exercise the most important thing you can possibly do, and that is vote. And John, welcome back. It's always a thrill to have you.
It's always good to be with you.
Well, you always shoot straight with us. You always tell us what to do, and you break it down into very simple steps. So we have an election coming up.
Yes, ma'am.
July 16th.
July 14th.
July 14th.
Yes, ma'am.
That's my birthday, the 16th.
Yes,
Sorry,
ma'am.
folks. July 14th. You please take us through the steps as to what every citizen needs to do to vote.
Well, the first thing, let me tell you how we got to where we are. Actually, the runoff was supposed to be March the 31st, but then the COVID had other ideas. Right. And so the governor had to evaluate where we were, and we provided her with information, and she made some decisions, and then she decided that we needed to move the runoff to another date, and we talked to her about what the projected dates would be and what it would mean for us. And so she used the power granted to her in Title 31-9-1 to move the election to July the 14th. Now, one of the things that we did was exercise power that's given to us whenever the governor declares a state of emergency under Title 17-11-3 and enabled us to set a course for people to take whenever they're voting absentee. Now, the reason that I did that is because even when we moved the date and people were uncertain about what might happen between March the 18th and July the 14th, people were like, what if I don't want to get out and vote in person? We want people to vote in person if they want to. All 1,980 polling sites in the state will be open on election day. But what we want to do is to offer the opportunity for people to vote absentee in the next 57 days. And of course, we started this process with more than 100 days to make application. So if you want to vote absentee, then what you need to do is you need to go to our website at alabamavotes.gov. Download the absentee ballot application. If you don't have access to a computer, simply call your circuit clerk and ask them to mail you an absentee ballot application. After you successfully complete it, you'll be asked to identify the reason why you want to vote absentee. And you'll mark the box that says, I'm ill or infirmed and will be unable to appear at my polling site on election day. And that will give you the freedom to vote for the candidate of your choice, knowing that your excuse will be granted. That's the one that we selected through Title 17-3-7 that allows us to identify for you exactly which one you should choose, so you'll be able to be comfortable with that. And let me say this. That needs to be completed by July the 13th. That's the day it has to be turned back in, but your application has to be submitted no later than the 9th of July. And so we want to make sure that people know that, and you can apply in person or you can apply through the mail.
Okay, so the date, July the 9th?
Is the last day to apply, and the last day to turn it in is July the 13th if you do it in person, or it must be postmarked by July 13th.
So in other words, let's say that you don't quite know with COVID exactly how things are going to be.
Yes, ma'am.
You could actually wait until the 9th, but if you do that, you better get your ballot, you better mark it, and you better have it in by the 13th.
That's right, and I already voted. I mailed mine in the third week of March because I already knew that I would be in Montgomery on election day instead of Tuscaloosa. And so I thought, I need to go ahead and do this. And I had marked the box to say I was going to vote absentee in the runoff and the general election anyway. And so that's the reason why I did so. So there's nothing to prevent people from going ahead and doing it now.
Okay. Well, the next question, we have regular vote. Let's suppose that I like to go and vote in person.
Yes, ma'am.
I just prefer that, and I think that it will be safe, sanitized.
Yes,
what are you doing to make that a safe
Well, that's a great question. One of the things that we've done is we've used those resources that have been provided to us through the CARES Act that was passed by the Congress to make sure that each and every poll worker that will be on site on election day in each one of our 1,980 sites will have a mask that we provide. They also will have non-latex gloves that we provide,
Okay.
hand sanitizer for the voters and hand sanitizer for the workers, the wipes that will be disinfected that will be used on the pens, on the election equipment and all of those things. We have Lysol and other types of disinfectant spray that will be used on the tables and around that venue the entire day. And when all the election work is over, we will go back and disinfect each polling site to its pre-election condition.
Okay.
And we're absorbing all the costs for all of those things.
Well, I think the main thing that we would like to get across, at least from my perspective, since I like to know that I have gotten my ballot, I know it's exactly what I want,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I know it goes in that machine.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know, maybe I've gotten older and I'm mistrusting, so I like to do it myself.
ma'am.
But I think it's wonderful. You have reassured us that all of those steps are being taken and those polling places are safe for you to go.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. And we want everybody to be comfortable knowing that their vote will count for the candidate of their choice on election day, either by in-person voting or by casting your ballot through absentee.
Okay, well that's wonderful to know, and thank you so much. You're always so helpful to all of our voters, and everybody get out and vote.
Yes, ma'am.
And we thank you so much, John,
Thank
and
you, Ms.
we'll be
Virginia.
right back.